right, folks, we're going to do a quick speed through the Blue Blood Drive. Got some facts and figures to give you from this January's drives.
Is that the blue evaluation form?
Click. Click. So what is it about the Blue Blood Drive? Well, it is Everybody Wins. This happens every year. We try to do this in conjunction with Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, which is January 9th every year. You could get media coverage for your local chapters. You increase community awareness and involvements with COPS. And most importantly, help alleviate the critical blood supply shortage because of the challenges that blood banks have faced over the last 2 years with COVID and the pandemic. A lot of blood drives have been canceled and supplies have been dangerously low. Some hospitals have only gotten like 25% of what they need to keep running at full speed. So it's very important to keep that blood supply up. Even if it's not that time of year, I would encourage you, if you're eligible to donate, get on down there every 6 weeks. The importance of the blood drive, like I say, the blood supplies are currently at the critical low. Supply and demand on a typical year, even before COVID, kind of fluctuates from time to time. But since COVID came along, it's been in the critically low category for some time now, almost the entire last 2 years, I'd say. Here's some pictures from one of our previous blood drives. And my little brother Tony came up with the awesome tagline, "Heroes are our type," and that's what we use for our recruiting tool, yeah. Here's some quick figures on the blood drive from this past January. C.O.P.S chapters collectively contributed 3,673 units of blood, and that's 8.28% increase over our 2021 drive. The caveat here, and if there's anybody here from Iowa, I don't think there is, but there's perhaps some that are listening virtually, very, very much props to them. They do an excellent job there. The thing with Iowa is the Red Cross doesn't do blood drives there, so they use two other companies that they go through. One of them's called Life Serves, and the other is called Impact Life. Out of that 3,673, 2,141 units were collected through Iowa's Life Serve drives. Thank you, Iowa. And we don't have a report on the ones that were conducted through Impact Life. So they would be a very good source if this is your first time doing it or you didn't have such a successful one maybe last year. Get some tips from the folks in Iowa. They seem to know what's going on there. We had impacted 11,019 lives were saved or impacted by those units of blood collected. So they do more help than just one person. You can do things with the platelets, the plasma, and so forth, burn victims, cancer patients. There's so much that can be done. We had 15 C.O.P.S chapters participate this year, and C.O.P.S National Office also held a blood drive in our community. And a pretty impressive number of first-time donors in this year's drives. So it's always hard to get people to donate for the first time. They're scared, they think it's gonna hurt. It's not super duper pleasant, but it doesn't hurt that bad, and it doesn't last that long. And when you think about who all you're helping, it's really a good thing to do. And I have a quote here from our contact at American Red Cross, Laura Zagby-Dye, commenting on our 2022 effort. The lives of so many patients have been touched by the work done by C.O.P.S chapters, planning and executing so many successful blood drives. Thank you for all you have done to fuel our mission in collaboration with your own. And that really resonated with me. So we're helping them, they're helping us, and again, everybody wins. So looking ahead here. Okay. I can't see, I'm blinded.
Sorry, we've had issues with the American Red Cross in setting up blood drives in our state, so we use the American Heart Association.
Oh.
So how do you get those statistics into your information? Okay.
That is a good question, Jamie. I would think that we would need to get in contact with whoever was your contact at the Heart Association and have them report to us, or you can get the information from them and pass that along to us so that that's also included. Yes, Tracy.
I don't know. If you go and donate individually, do you need to tell them that you're with C.O.P.S individually so that the numbers
I'm
get into these
still
numbers?
learning about the process of this. I'm going to be meeting, my team and I are going to be meeting here in the coming weeks with our representative and finding out a little bit more about how the ins and outs of that worked. Emily was previously our chapter specialist, and she has gone on to another opportunity, but she was kind of the one that was running that the last couple years. So I will be learning a lot more about this in the coming weeks, and I'll have some exciting information also to pass along to y'all on ways that you can increase participation, or if you've never done this before, where do you start? And that'll be a question that we'll be addressing with Laura. So what you want to do in terms of 2023, we got another one.
I'm sorry. I was told when I was basically told, contact the fire departments that are holding blood drives and say that C.O.P.S would like to be a part of it. So when I reached out to some of the fire departments, they're like, but you're going to take the credit away from us because not both C.O.P.S and the fire department can't get the credit for the same pints of blood. So I really was unsuccessful. I'm like, I need some guidance on how to do this.
Right.
Because if I'm attaching myself to a fire department, who gets the credit for the pints of blood?
And that's a very good question, Tricia. I know one of the bits of information that I got from my contact at Red Cross was different ways to increase participation and so forth. And I think they have a plan for situations like that. One of the things that they were mentioning as a possibility was doing a, quote, battle of the badges, like let's compete the fire department against the police department and see who has more participation. So they have plans in place to kind of handle and kind of gamify it, like Brent was saying earlier, to make it a competition to where everybody wins. So that's a very good question. Cheryl.
I actually go through the blood bank and through agencies that we have a close attachment to and work it out between the two of them and get it arranged at the agency. Usually they'll have a parking lot or somewhere that we can use nearby their office, and I go through them, and then it's, but they know it's credited to us.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. So yeah, even though I mentioned the American Red Cross, you don't necessarily have to go through them. There are local blood collection agencies. I mean, there's places that are pretty rural that are not going to have a Red Cross manager assigned to that area. So whatever works for your chapter and however you want to go about that, there'll be some information, like I say, coming forward to where you can, if it's a blood center in your community that's never heard of this concept of the blue blood drive, we'll have information to get them up to speed on it and how that can be included in our facts and figures as well. So you do want to start planning soon. Their dates book up pretty quickly. Again, we're going to try to focus on January to coincide with LEAD. Set the date and plan promotion. That's the main thing about blood drives. You've got to get the word out. I don't know if you're like me, maybe you drive by the church down the street and, oh, look, they're having a blood drive today. But if I'd have known about it last week, maybe I could be there, but I don't have time today. So you want to get that word out there as quickly as you can. And again, I'll just reiterate that we are going to be meeting with our Red Cross Partnership Manager coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have some exciting information and tools for you all to use to plan your successful blood drive this year. Yes, Dana?
Hey, Dana, nobody can hear you because you're not talking in a microphone. Okay. I'm going to give this to you.
Most people saying that's fine. I just want to ask if anybody else in the room, when we have like the blue blood drive, I find that it kind of takes away from Law Enforcement Appreciation Day because it's the guys in blue coming out and giving their blood. So is anybody else having that kind of a, I know it coincides with it, but I'm afraid that maybe it takes the Blue Blood Drive kind of takes away from Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and I didn't know if anybody else had that same experience.
I can address what we've done at National. Typically, we'll go early in the morning and take donuts to the guys, cookies or whatever. We have children at elementary schools, make cards for them and so forth. So we kind of get that done early in the morning. And also, it's not always going to be on that exact same day. I think our event this year ended up being over a couple of days. So one day we went and took them goodies and so forth, and then the next day or the day after that was the blood drive. So just kind of around that time. It doesn't actually have to be on that particular date, but that's the whole, kind of the whole hook of the thing, is that we're getting the officers out there, you know, to make an example for the community, like, look what we're doing. Come on, don't be a chicken, get in here and do it too, yeah.
Hi. Ellen, they can't hear you because you don't have the microphone. We're gonna do one more question. We're gonna have to keep moving on this, and I really appreciate all the engagement, and I really do. I really do. We're gonna keep you late, though.
I just wanted to say that you told me that we could go, it counted through March, so we ended up, because we always have an event on the 9th. And so we held ours in March.
Right.
And we got the
And
credit
I believe
for
that was something that I had on
And
the
we use
statistics
town
that I got
halls
from them,
and
yeah.
police academies, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be on that day. I mean, it's just kind of where the focus is on that, but we can make arrangements with the Red Cross or your local blood bank to, you know, any time of the year, we can still count it towards that big event that we're trying to keep it under that umbrella. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you all. I'll look forward to passing that information on to you when we have more.